Hello, in this video I want to dive deeper into the accountable AI subject, creating solutions that use AI so we are more productive and helped by AI agents without losing on accountability and making decisions that are traceable, that are uh, auditable, and that you can safely trust. So let's go right into that. Here on the Aletyx.ai website, under slash AI assistant, you can learn more about the feature and the product and sign in for your 40 days free trial. So if you want to give this a try, you can without any cost. And here on the docs on Aletyx.ai slash docs, you will find also a section about the AI assistant, and that's what we are going to use today. So uh, the first place you may want to start is the Aletyx playground. So if you have your own instance of decision control or something like that already set up, you can use that. However, for today, I want to demonstrate things on the playground so it is easier and everybody can follow along. So here, I'll just create a new decision uh, process with a sample. So here it's the loan pre-qualification, trying to decide if a given lender is acceptable for a loan, basically. And here on the right side, you can see, if I remove my head out of the way, the Aletyx AI assistant. So here you can see what it's doing and ask anything you want. So first I'm gonna ask simply to explain this model. So if you're not familiar with the boxes and what they mean and the types of arrows and so on, here is a good place to get started. So it will tell you what the process is, how it works, what is the back end ratio, the front end ratio, meaning the taxes, the maximum amount of taxes and committing that you can, as you can take while eligible, and the back end ratio, the total obligations as a percentage of your income. And that's how your decision for a loan is approved in this example. So also, besides explaining the model, I can certainly change it. So here on the Aletyx docs, there are a few prompts that we can use. So I'll take here in AI assistant prompts, and let's just change a business rule. So the applicant's gross income relative to all monthly debt obligations, that's the ratio, which is established at 38%. I just wrote the lender acceptable DTI in uh, layman's terms so that we can see that the AI truly understands it. So it's at 0.36%, and that's what should be changed. If I ask the model this, so change to 42% the percentage of the applicant's gross monthly income relative to all monthly debt obligations that qualifies the applicant for a loan. So pretty natural, and even without knowing the business jargon, the AI assistant will be able to make this change. And also we can make all sorts of changes to this model. Let's just wait for this one first. And ta-da! As expected, my lender acceptable DTI has been highlighted and changed. So I can see that it was changed from 36 to 42%, and I'll just accept these changes. Also, I can change other rules. Let's see here, for example, in my credit scoring, I have a basic credit scoring table. So here, for example, if the credit score is over 750, it's excellent. It's considered excellent or good or fair or poor, and so on and so forth. So one thing I can do, for example, is reduce each category by 10%, so it is easier to get a loan, for example. And now I can see that each layer of my decision about credit score has been reduced as I asked, and I can accept all changes. Or if you don't like, revert and try again. So that's the table, and going back to the editor. Another thing I want to show here is how to run the tests. So here on the run tab, I can fill in the form or see it as a table. And instead of filling all those values by hand, I'm gonna ask the AI assistant to do it on my behalf. So first I'm gonna ask him to generate a positive application with an excellent applicant data. So there it is. Please generate one with excellent credit score and so on and so forth. And here it already gives me the alternative to test it. And here we can see that it's sufficient and good for our case. And in the same way, I can also ask for a negative case and ask for another case with insufficient data, let's say. And it will generate with different details. And of course, you can create and add those to your test, so it's easier to run. Yeah, and here you can see on the run side that you can pin values to your table. So if you want to make sure that the loan pre-qualification here is not qualified, for example, you can pin this as expected. So if you click here, and if this changes for some reason, the test will fail. Okay, so that's how you can have tests that fail or passes and prevent your model from being improperly published or something like that. So this is the Aletyx AI assistant, and also you can upload images, texts with your policy changes, with all your data, and ask it to create a decision for you. And from that, you will have not an interpretation every time, but a change to the model. And you can always see the model versions and tests and make it available to your application in a way that it's accountable then. So it's not subject to AI hallucinations or variations or different interpretations, but just changes to your decision model. And that's Aletyx AI Assistant. See you in the next one.